Go.
I won't be surprised.
I'd like to call the special call meeting of Monday, June the 11th, 2018, 6 p.m. to order. Sharon, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Madison.
Here.
Alderman Stratton.
Here.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Here.
Alderman Smith.
Here.
Alderman Bowling.
Here.
And the next thing on the agenda is prayer by Alderman Jack Stratton, and immediately following, pledge allegiance to the flag.
Precious Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to come in to help and do things we need to have done in Bluff City. We pray for the families, pray for everyone that's here. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next thing on the agenda is citizen comments. The first session, come to the podium and give your name, address, and phone number.
Thank you. Carolyn Payne, 4818 Bluff City Highway, 538-9108. Again, thank you all for tonight. What I have to say is going to take more than 3 minutes, but I do hope that the board will indulge me. We didn't have a quorum at the last meeting. Tonight's agenda is exactly the same. The first item up on agenda tonight is Resolution 2018-002 to extend monies for Phase 2 not to exceed $66,667. First, you must go back to that resolution that was signed March 6, stating the dollar amount of the loan of $1,686,000. At bid opening, as stated, of engineer's estimate, it was estimated $1,868,838, and the bid was awarded for $1,914,821. That is a difference of $228,821, not $66,667. Now, you must remember that Phase 1 was to replace the 2 sewer pump stations with a budget of $342,000, and it went over budget by $110,000, which equals $452,555. So we have already dipped into Phase 2 monies. Phase 3 is our water plant. So now we've dipped into that, which was a grant in the amount of $830,900. Now, if you add up $110,000 over budget for Phase 1, along with the over budget now for Phase 2 of $228,821, that equals $338,821 minus $830,900. That leaves us $492,079 for the water plant Phase 3. It is, all this is legal, but not a good sign, and the residents are not being told the truth.
Thank you. Your time's up.
Will the board please allow me to finish?
Okay, does anyone else have a comment?
Sandy,
I'm sorry.
will you allow me to finish?
Yes.
Jack? Thank you. Ray? David?
Yes.
Richard?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to proceed. Now let's move to special call meeting May 31st, 2018, at 10:15 a.m. to approve a pump for the water plant because all 3 pumps were not working. The cost to replace one pump was $9,000. That leads into what was on the agenda for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2018, in which Tennessee Comptroller in Nashville wants a survey of excessive non-revenue water loss compliance. Do we have those results, and what were they? Maybe that is why it's on the agenda tonight that Teresa Neffeder is leaving tomorrow. And now we need to hire a full-time water plant operator. How exhausting these meetings are when we were assured we only needed Teresa on an as-is needed basis at $30 per hour and the cost of $250 per month for the use of her licenses. We couldn't even pin down how many hours per day she would spend at the water plant. Now, karma hit on May 31, 2018, when 2 sewer pump stations went down. One a brand new one, which has not 1 but 2 pump stations, and an overflow happened again. The lights keep flashing, which should have been an indication that something wasn't working, and it was just a matter of time before an overflow occurred at 4434 Bluff City Highway. Those pump stations were approved and signed off on February 17, 2017 by all parties involved. Letter dated February 22, 2017. Then another letter dated August 1, 2017 was requested by TDEC. Sandra K. Vance requested the pump station's replacement plan as built drawings along with a few other items. In researching TDEC's website of the overflow on May 31, 2018, a lot of information came to sight, including what time the alarms went off and was reported to the mayor by an alderman. The mayor then the mayor called Mr. Moultrie at 6:43 p.m. I called Mr. Moultrie at 8:08 p.m. and the septic trucks were on their way. Huge time span. The truck.
You need to make a motion if you're going to let her talk. You need to make a motion that you're going to vote if you're going to let her talk or not.
She's already had 6 minutes. It's supposed
All
to
right.
be 3 minutes.
6 minutes is
6 minutes is enough.
It's not enough.
6 minutes is enough.
And-
Okay, we're moving on. Does anybody else have any comments?
any other.
Okay, that's it. She just said that's it.
That's right.
Got
I
an
will
extension.
continue.
Does anyone else have a comment?
Yes, my name is Becky Buchanan, 750 Dry Branch Road, 276-1165. I think our city workers, Alan, all of our city workers is doing a good job. Miss Payne, if you don't have anything else to do with your time, move somewhere else, but don't come and try to rule this town.
You move.
I'm not moving, honey. I've been here longer than you have.
Okay, that's Mayor.
Alan, one thing I would like to say before we go on any further. I get so tired of coming to meetings and people getting up and saying things that's not true. And the first thing, saying that we had a quorum the other night. We had no quorum. If we had, we would have had a meeting. Now, Alan, would you like to speak to all this stuff?
Yeah, on this, on the overflow that we had during that major rain event that we had went on, Caroline Payne, of course, calls me, and I mean, to be calling me pretty much boasting at the fact that we're overflowing, that's just distasteful. And I mean, I find it hard to kind of work in conditions like that. Like, I mean, that whole week, I pretty much kind of struggled with whether or not I want to be here because the atmosphere here is toxic, for one. I mean, I don't even want to work here. And I mean, I actually love this job. I give you all my nights, my weekends, my holidays. Whenever that alarm goes off, I'm here.
You do.
Nobody else is here with me. And I mean, for you to call me, and yeah, I'm pointing at you, for you to call me and kind of brag and boast at the fact that we're overflowing, I mean, to me, that felt like harassment. That felt like harassment. That felt like you was bullying me, being that you're calling me pretty much kind of agging on the fact that we're overflowing. And I mean, like, really? I mean, when does it end?
Is it overflowing?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, he said that.
Yes, it did. I did say that, and I reported that, and I told you that.
Yep.
But yet still, y'all keep going on with the same thing. It's crazy.
And
And
Sherry,
threatening somebody's job.
I was going to say, Billy,
Okay, Billy Wells, 198 Holston Drive, Bluff City, Tennessee, 538-5877. I like to say, you boy, I still say you boys been doing a good job. But now, for the people, the board, everybody here, you better be glad. 20 years ago, I was mayor. You better be glad I'm not still mayor. Because in our charter that we had, it was against the law of the law. I mean, against the law of the lie. We had the old city hall up on Main Street. We had cells, 2 little cells in the back. And if you lied, you go to jail. You spend a night in jail. That's where it's been for 100 years in Bluff City. The mayors before me taught me that. We learned honor, dignity. We wasn't scared. Now, if you're going to vote and let everybody talk all night, you need to change your 3-minute rule. Because she can talk all night, then I can talk, and anybody else can talk all night. And you're going to have a meeting all night long. So you got to stay. If you're going to pass a rule, which is law, you got to go by your law. If you don't go by the law, it's up to the chief to arrest you guys. We don't have our jail now, but we can send you to Bonneville. If you're going to pass the law, you need to go by law, or you can still go to jail. And if you don't believe me, read the Constitution. Nobody's above the law. Okay, and it makes me angry when you want to give preference to certain people. Now, when you pass these laws, if she can talk all night long, everybody else can talk all night long. Bring your magazines and talk. So remember that. Be fair. Otherwise, go to jail. Thank you.
Alan, did you know that it overflowed before she called you?
No, it wasn't until the mayor contacted me
Yeah.
that we had the high float level alarm. She called me. I dispatched Robert Potter out there. Robert Potter made it 10 minutes before I had made it and said that it wasn't overflowing. By the time when I came from my house, I went straight to the pump station. After I went from the pump station to go clock in, I noticed that it was overflowing.
Well, didn't the power go off for a while at night, too?
The power went off.
Mine did.
We had power issues at the garage pump station.
My power went off that night. It was overflowing.
This pump station right here, that whole duration was pumping. I mean, like, we have a stormwater issue. We don't have an issue with the actual pump station. So I hate the fact that y'all keep carrying on saying it's the pump station. We have a stormwater issue. So y'all have it there. We have a stormwater issue. Fix that, problem solved. Like, we don't have these issues during everyday situations. It's only when it's raining. So therefore, you got a stormwater issue. You can't sit there and take a bottle of Coke, fill it with water, and says it's Coke. It's not Coke. Same situation with the pump station. And yes, I do. I'm sorry that it overflows and it flows towards the lake. But come on, it's 80% rainwater. 80% rainwater, and I know it sucks, but I mean, come on, you guys need to gain a grip and come to a realization we need to fix our other issues. But yet still, we come in here every month and fuss about the same damn thing every time. It's just sickening.
And his job was also threatened by someone.
Yeah, she basically told me, oh, my job is in jeopardy. My job is in jeopardy.
No worries with that.
I mean, and that's coming from the people I'm here to serve. I mean, I don't do this for fun.
No.
I mean, I tried to make this my career, but I mean, pretty much this place has made this one of the worst. I wish I was back in my old situation, basically. I mean, it's just bad. I just hate it. It's that bad. It's really that bad.
I'm sorry you're going through this.
It really is that bad. And I mean, for her to be calling me, it would have been one thing if she was calling me to try to solve an issue, but she called me to brag and gloat on the fact that we were overflowing. It's been just about a year since we had our last overflow. And this one moment that she had to kind of stick the knife in, oh, she didn't fall short of doing that. She did that.
And really, you should not have to put up with all that when you're working on emergency. And, you know,
Well,
I know that
pick
you
and
don't.
choose whose call I take. I'm open. I'll take your call tonight. I'll take your call tomorrow. Anything I can do, I'm more than willing to help you, but don't call me with that bullshit. Sorry.
Does anybody else have a comment?
I think somebody needs to apologize to him because he is a great worker. All city workers is good. I mean, I've seen him out there in the rain, in the heat. I've even stopped and gave him cookies and Gatorade and pop and told him, thank you for the hard work you do. And I don't even live in the city. But let these people know that you do appreciate them for what they do. Don't put them down. Don't stop them.
Okay. Does anyone else have a comment? If not, we will move on. Discussion and action. Dave Wilson, engineer with Madden and Craig, engineer.
Do we need to approve?
Thank y'all, Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Let me do the minutes. Discussion and action on regular meeting minutes of April the 2nd, 2018, and special call meeting minutes of April the 24th, 2018. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion we accept.
Second.
Take a vote, please. Shannon.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
Do the next thing. Dave.
Thank y'all, members of the board, and Mayor and Alderman. Thank y'all for having me here. I think maybe some of these issues are coming up. It boils down to communication, and I'd be more than happy if you all want to do any kind of informal meeting where we're together and everyone is aware and can ask any of these questions, and we can try the best that we possibly can at that time to set these, especially regarding the project budgets. And then I noticed this item for discussion that will be coming up next, that's actually a disbursement. It's not related to our project, is it?
Nope.
It's totally not related
There's nothing.
We're borrowing from one fund and paying it back to the other.
Exactly. And
Back when
I know
Delaney was here.
Because all of those payments are $66,000.
Right. So I know things like that. I think if we could have an informal meeting, or a formal, informal, well, it's not your, more like a work session where everyone can.
Get their facts right.
Yeah, and then we can talk back and forth, and I think that would help us. I wasn't here, I'm hearing that we had an overflow in March. That confused me too. Things like that, we can go get those straight. And I was, we spoke, I guess, here at the 1st of June, or we did have this overflow that night, and things like the lights going off. Those lights, that's what we want to have happen. That tells us what's going on without having to guess. So things like that, well, let's explain what it's for and then what it means. And I think that would help everybody. And as far as the overflows, like Alan noted, I know that was the first one that we had in 11 and a half months, almost a year. God forbid we can have up to 5 when there's no regulatory action required. You're allowed 5 in a year because they know in every wastewater system that happens. Mayor, you may recall when we went to TDEC last year, it was right after an overflow event, and everyone was upset, and we talked, and that same event, Jonesboro had 9 overflows. Bristol, Tennessee had 19 overflows.
Yep.
We have this.
But you never hear about those.
No, that's right. But I realize it's an issue, and I don't want to denigrate that or put it down. Let's do a work session and try to go through all these budgets and everything. So
we definitely need to do that so we can get the correct information out there.
And if we're wrong, I want to correct it myself. Watching the budget's important to me. But anyway, with that being said, I know y'all are aware we did have our contract 2 was awarded, and our notice to proceed date was May the 28th. So those guys are on the clock. I had a call from them after 4 today. I did not take, but they should be getting here and starting. I'm going to find out an exact date and why they're not here already. I know that they will be. From what I understand, they had all intents of putting several crews on it and getting it knocked out, beginning with the work where we had the valve issue at Cedar and Carter. So we'll get that straight. I think the call was probably alluding to Alan's availability in getting that started, but I will start with that. Now, contract 3, you are aware we had some issues with turbidity coming out from the spring to the water plant causing shutdowns, and we visited a month ago, and we were in the process of looking at changing contract 3, and now I understand let's just go ahead with the plans that we had, and we'll entertain doing another project if necessary to address those turbidity items, and what Teresa had brought up may include filter changes and, of course, these pumps going out, and then so three main things, the location of the proposed water tank there, these pumps, and then the filters may have to be finally addressed with another project. Let's move ahead with what we had planned and not let that hold us up anymore. So with all that being said, our intent is to get it submitted here in the month of June and approved, and we'll go ahead and have the concurrent bid while this other job's going on, all the budgets. Do you all have any other questions?
How much money will we get from Thomason if they?
It's $1,000 per day if they exceed. It's liquidated damages. If they do go past their contract times, it's $1,000 per day, unless they provide documentation that's legitimate on past. At this time they are on the clock. They are aware of that. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Just y'all advise on that meeting. I think it would be good.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I would like to say before we go on.
We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I would like to say before we go on, so no one can just go out here and just be saying anything about Teresa. Teresa has 2-3 businesses, and she could not do her business, take care of her 3 businesses, and take care of us. And she is working until Friday of this week, from what I understand. And I really appreciate everything that she's done. And it's nothing to do with what somebody said about this or somebody said about that. So we can just put that out of our minds. Okay, and we'll move on. Okay, discussion and action on resolution number 2018-002. Sharon.
Resolution 2018.
Your microphone, Chair.
What?
Your mic.
Resolution number 2018-002. It's a resolution of the governing body of the town of Bluff City, Tennessee, retroactively authorizing the issue, sale, and payment of water and sewer funds, inter-fund capital outlay extension note series 2017. Not to exceed the $66,667. This was a interfund loan that was made in, it was 2014. It was supposed to have been paid off. We got the extension 3 years ago, and the last extension is the one that we're doing now. This was set up, and the board voted on it to do the extensions 3 at a time. State Comptroller's Office will only allow us 3 years at a time. So they gave us 3 years. It brought the balance down to $66,667 to pay off in the next 3 years.
And this is where the water fund borrowed money from the general fund to pay off the leak that happened on the bridge, the Swinger Bridge.
Yes.
When Judy Delaney was here and it got swept under the books.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're
They
paying
did
it
not
back.
make any of
Has
the
nothing to
payments.
do with what we're doing with the loans.
Right.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the loans now and
That's a
the
grant.
project.
That's
Making
good.
sure that's out there.
No. This was interfund loans, one from.
They
the
thought
other.
it was susceptible to do it, but it's not.
Yeah, they
correct way
passed
to
a
do it.
law in 2013 that you could not use general funds in the water sewer funds.
Right. They have to be self-sufficient.
Yes.
Okay, if we don't have any questions, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Take a vote, please, Sharon.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing is discussion and action. The first reading on ordinance number 2018-002. Sharon.
The ordinance number 2018-002 is an ordinance to adopt a continuing budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2018.
Make a motion to approve.
And it's the current tax rate, $1.28, no
Yeah,
increase,
it
no
all
nothing.
stays the same.
Yeah,
till
we do this every
vote
year.
on the budget. Yeah, we
Yeah,
do
we have
this.
to do this every year.
And I'll second that motion.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Stratton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Smith, Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
Okay, discussion and action on contract with State of Tennessee signal upgrade on SR 34 Bristol Highway, US 11E/11W at Industrial Park Road, Bluff City, Sullivan County. I mentioned this to you all a while back about us receiving the funds to pay for putting a new light down at the Industrial Park Road. If you notice it, it's all faded out and it's just way out of date. So the money was approved to replace that light. And then we had to get someone to take care of actually doing the contract. I was able to talk to the state of Tennessee, and they have agreed to take on that job of completing the traffic light at Industrial Park Road. But I need to have a contract signed
It's not
to
costing us
approve.
anything, is it?
No,
And we don't have to do anything.
and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that one.
do we have a vote, please?
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Smith, Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda is discussion and action. Approval to hire one full-time and one temporary employee for Public Works. We have quite a bit of work that we're doing on the boardwalk, down at the boardwalk in the pavilion. And the county gave us $10,000 to take care of this work. And so the Public Works men are going to be trying to do all that work, and we need some additional help. They have additional work to take care of during the summer and the spring with all the weed eating and the mowing and stuff. And then there's been a lot of additional work to be done out at the water plant. And
Clean up.
it's cutting trees, cutting brush, cleaning away from the manholes and everything. And they have had to rush and do a lot of that work. And then also some things within the water plant. So I would ask that you all would approve to hire one full-time and a temporary employee.
So the full-time will be permanent too?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, is that one full-time or two full-time?
No, one full-time and then a temporary one for,
All right.
mainly for weed eating and mowing and things like that.
Okay. So the full-time we be the water plant operator.
No,
it's not different.
no, that's not the water plant operator.
This is Public
Okay.
Works.
That's
All right,
an
I
additional person because they have a lot of additional work that they have
Okay.
to take care
They're
of.
spread thin.
Yeah.
It's not just a matter of additional work. When I
position wasn't replaced.
And that was the same thing for one of the other positions. All I'm asking for is at least one full-time worker, but a part-time worker would be great help. Because I mean, like, if you look around, I mean, time after time we get further and further behind on things because brush piles coming out left and right, and I mean, whenever you get pulled off of one thing to go tackle another, and then have a water leak over here, working with just 5 guys is a little bit harder than what I anticipated. I actually thought we could get it done, but I mean, everybody don't have the same work ethic that I have. But that's kind of where we're standing. We really do need some help because things are getting a little bit testy, and I find myself doing a whole lot more than what I need to be doing, and we need some help. That's
Will this temporary be getting the insurance and everything?
No.
Just a
Full-time,
full-time.
temporary won't.
What kind of
Full-time,
wages
well.
you going to start out on?
What did we have on that, Sharon? The full-time we was going to take a closer look at because we're hoping that person can have some additional duties. Like,
we were going to look at the experience they had. The
Yeah.
temporary would probably be minimum wage or $8, something like that, for temporary.
preferably if we could find somebody that has some backhoe experience, because if we get Mark, if he's sick one day, we're without a backhoe operator.
Right.
I'm not certified on a backhoe. I know how to operate it, but I'm not certified on it. So I mean, that's one of the considerations that need to be made whenever making a decision on the next worker. As in the temporary worker, we just kind of need somebody to help out with the
Boots on the ground.
Have you got anybody else can operate the backhoe?
No.
Casey know how to operate it, but like I said,
Certified.
I know, I'm not talking about, we could get him certified if you've got somebody else that can operate it.
he know how to operate. I mean, everybody for the most part know how to operate it, but knowing how to operate it proficient, like without snagging the line or whatever.
Yeah.
Is where everything falls into place.
Well, then can we word it this way? Can I make a motion to approve the hire of the people, but make it in consideration that they need to have experience for backhoe, certified backhoe
For
operator?
the
Yeah,
permanent.
for one.
For the permanent.
Yeah.
Put that in there when you put the ad out in there.
Be lucky
Okay.
to get one under $14 or $15 if you can get one for that.
Yeah, it'll have to be, the wage will have to be according to their
Right.
experience.
Experience.
Right. And if we don't get one, we can maybe send one of them to get certified.
What about
Yeah.
sneaking another one in there for going around here checking for all these water leaks with that machine we got? We're losing a lot of water. Teresa even said it. We're losing a lot of water. And I'd like to bring somebody in here for $8.50 for 60 days and let them just do nothing but walk and find water leaks.
Well, that's what your water plant operator is supposed to do. And I mean, if you look at the history, we haven't been too successful with water plant operators,
No.
and that's why we got some of the results we have right now. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of just getting fed up with things.
Well, we need to know what your opinions is on this stuff, Alan.
Yes.
Well, we do need a water plant operator. We don't need a part-time, we need a full-time, somebody that's here
Yes.
all the time, not part of the time.
Right.
Because I find myself, I work at the water plant every day. I'm there for a couple hours and then I'm back out here, whether or not it's picking up brush, mowing, reading water meters. Like, I don't even think the majority of the town know how much I actually do. I mean, I stop. I don't even carry on.
You're good.
It's just beyond frustrating.
Some people know, and some people appreciate it.
Very much so.
It's just tough. And I mean, I'm not backing down from the work. I mean, and Ms. Payne, if I came at you sideways, I apologize for that. But I mean, the way that phone call went, it just seems like you just kind of was just throwing it in my face. And I mean, that's how I felt on that. And yeah, but I mean, at the same time, if a call comes in, whether or not it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'm going there, sir. I'm here to help you all.
Yeah.
I'm not. I like right now. I don't. Other than my kids and what all I got going, I don't have any family here. So I mean, whenever I come here, this is what I got. And to feel like you're not accepted here, I mean, it's just tough.
And when you're working on emergency, you shouldn't have to be standing on the phone with somebody.
There's an emergency line. That's how come I mean, there's an on-call person that whenever you got an emergency, you call that line, they pick up. You can talk to them. I mean, I don't have nothing against anybody in this town. I don't have no political alliances, no nothing. No nothing.
True.
I treat everybody the same, and
You
I
do.
get no money.
Do you have a water operator in line there?
Well, I've got 3 that I'm looking at. They want a whole lot more money than we've been paying. So
But that might be what it
I've got,
It's gonna be tough. Like, I mean, I went to the last couple water meetings, and finding a water plant operator is scarce in this area in general. So,
And if you do, you got to pay for it.
Yeah,
it's
you have.
slim pickings out there. So.
I think Teresa's going to be harder to replace.
Well, I mean, the state pretty much kind of pushed us towards Sam, just to be honest. I've been spending a lot of time with the state, and we've been going around, and it's just slim pickings. So just make your choice wisely. Just choose wisely. That's all I'm going to say. Choose wisely.
We have really not made a final decision. I've not made a final decision. I'm hoping we'll get some more applications and resumes in because several other areas is trying to help us out, and TDEC's trying to give us information, and we feel like there has to be someone out there. But I would like to let you know, though, that it's not just Bluff City. Bristol had an ad in the paper for 3 solid months. It's unreal what it cost them to run that ad. They actually had 2 people that applied, and out of those 2 people, they told me that neither one of them was what they wanted. But they had to make a choice and take one and train that one. So Kingsport tried the same thing. They needed some water plant operators. Bristol needed too. So I mean, it's something that, and that's why I feel like if we have our own trained person as a water plant operator, that's going to help us a lot. And Alan is trying his best to go and take the test in November. And he's having to do all these other things, plus trying to learn some of the things that he needs to know. So,
I thought that was what we discussed he's going to do when I was on the board. I believe.
But
That was to take over the role of the
supervisor,
sewer.
and he has sewer operator. He has sewer operator's license. So then he'll have 2 licenses. He'll have sewer and water.
I still make one comment. I don't care about Bristol. Don't care about Kingsport.
Well, I was just giving you that knowledge so you wouldn't think that Bluff City is the only facility that's having problems, the only city having problems, because they're not. Just like with the overflows, it's not just Bluff City. It's a lot of these other cities that's having problems, So, okay, let's move on.
I made a motion to approve the full-time and temporary with the exception of backhoe operator on certification.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Take a vote, please, Sharon.
Alderwoman Madison.
Yes.
Alderman Stratton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Yes.
Alderman Smith.
Yes.
Alderman Bowles.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we need to make a motion to hire.
To our full-time water plant operator.
I'll make a motion to do that.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison.
Yes.
Alderman Stratton.
Yes.
Alderman Vice Mayor Harrington.
Yes.
Alderman Smith. Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
I would like to say that I'm really pleased because Sullivan County donated us the $10,000, and we're going to be replacing quite a few boards at the boardwalk, and then also on the roof on farther down towards the big rock. We may have to totally replace that one, but we'll be painting over the pavilion, and then we will also be on the left side of the pavilion where we have concrete. It's like here, and the wood that's coming from the pavilion is higher, and we're going to have to just take all that out and have that redone, and the men can do that for us.
Think $10,000 will do it?
Well, it may not do all of it, but I think it'll do quite a bit of it.
It'll buy the material.
We'll replace all the bad boards. Yeah. Okay. Discussing action on financial report, Sharon Green, City Recorder, Finance Officer. CMFO, because she got her license.
That's right.
Fund balances as of April 31st, 2018.
Hello? Speak up, just please. I'm old and I can't hear right.
Can you twist the microphone over, Richard?
General fund, $1,195,040. Sanitation fund, $14,490. Special police fund, $13,090. Debt service fund, $147,245. Sinking fund, $3,095. Water sewer fund, $639,184. Total fund balance is $2,012,144.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the
I'll make a motion to approve financial report.
Second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison.
Yes.
Alderman Stratton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Yes.
Alderman Harris. Alderman Smith. Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay. And the next thing on the agenda, Mr. Fry was not able to be here tonight. So now we'll have comments from the board members. Alderwoman Sandra Madison.
Alan, being the Alderwoman of Bluff City, I just want to tell you, you're doing a good job, and I'm sorry what you're going through. And if you need me for anything, please.
Alderman Jack Stratton.
I said you're thinking about, even though some people might have got a little hyper, it was a good meeting because it's really showing everybody wants the same thing. We just ain't a rich city to buy everything. We have to search here and search there, and grab what we think is the best. And I thank the people for keep hanging in there. Just keep hanging in there, and it's work out on them.
Vice Mayor Ray Harrington.
I'll reiterate what Sandra said. If you need anything, Alan, and appreciate everything you do every day. And if you need anything, come to us and we'll get it straightened out. And I appreciate you being there because, that's part of in your job and stuff is answering the phone calls when people call because you're here for the citizens and stuff. It may not be what you want to hear, but we still got to listen. I'm right there with you in that. point. I understand completely. But like Jack said, yeah, we're getting there. It's just the goal's a little further away, but we're getting there one step at a time, and we'll get there together. Thank you.
Okay, Alderman David Smith.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. That's about all I've got to say.
Alderman Richard Boland.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out also, and I'm glad that people's concerned about the city. And I just hope that we can get along and do everything like the city wants to be done, but we can't do everything at one time. It's got to be strung out, and everything can't be done at the same time. Thank you.
Okay. And the report from the city officials, county commissioners, chief of police, Greg DePew.
Good evening, Mayor, Board.
Good evening.
For the month of May, we had a total of 238 calls. We had 135 citations. We had 51 warnings issued, patrolled 5,654 miles, had 8 arrests, 16 offense reports, 6 alarms, had 7 accidents, 2 animal calls, 7 MSDs, had 1 drug arrest. I had a pretty good month. Everything's going well. Everybody's happy, working hard, working together. Things are good. I did put a sheet up there just to give an update. I'm getting a lot of questions about cars. People are asking the mileage, the condition, and just a little bit of something here. I put down what we have, the total miles we have on the cars. Of course, the new Ford Explorers are really, really great. Thanks again to the city for taking care of us. They're doing very well. Officers are very happy with them. If you'll look there, the 4 of them, 3 2012s, 1 2008. The highest mileage is 148, 715. Those cars, are at some point we need to look at suspension things. We'll probably need to be looking at maybe getting a couple cars. That'd be about what I think would set us up good for the future. I've not got with Sharon on it or the mayor on it at this point, but just something you guys can look at, the mileage on it, and go from there. But that's about all I have. Everything else is good. And Alan, I'm take a second to Alan works hard. Those guys are out every day. We see them when we're on patrol.
Yeah.
Not one time we've ever asked them for something. They've not went out of their way to stop and help us. So I appreciate what they're doing. You guys do work hard. And when you're out there doing what you're doing, all these employees here of this town love this town, and we all love our jobs. I speak, I know, on behalf of myself and all the police officers. And it does make it difficult at times when you're put under pressure. I've been there. I know what you're going through. I've been there at times here. But we love the city and we stick with it. So hang in there and just keep working hard, and hopefully things will go good for us all. Because I know everybody here loves the town, that's why we're here. So that's all I have. Anybody have any questions for me? Or?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Public Works Supervisor, Water Department, and the Public Works Supervisor.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. Once again, Ms. Payne, if I came at you the wrong way, I do apologize for that. That wasn't my intentions, but just got a little frustrated. So I do apologize for that. As in the sewer department, just to kind of give you a brief update, the pump stations, they are operating normal at this current time. We did have 2 overflows in the month of May. The overflows was due to the thunderstorm that rolled in on May 31st, knocking out the power to the garage pump station, leading to the overflow at the garage pump station. Just to kind of give you update, we still have been continuing our flushing of sewer lines to try to alleviate some of these sewer overflow issues. As in the street department, the staff has been trying to keep up with the mowing and the brush pickup and every other little thing, from turn-ons to checking water pressure. We've been kind of overwhelmed, but I think we've pretty much addressed those issues regarding needing a new worker. That's what that all was about. But that's kind of where we stand. We do got a couple projects that's coming up. We're gonna need some help getting some of those planks taken off of the pavilion. That's a job that's gonna take more than 2 guys per se, and we only have, like, if we put 2 guys out there, we got 3 guys left out in the field, and that's gonna leave them mowing, picking up brush, doing everything else. So I mean, all I'm asking for is another worker, in other words. So I mean, if we can get at least 1, it doesn't have to be 2, and it doesn't have to be a backhoe operator right now. We just kind of need the help to get caught up. But as in the water plant, you all may know the water plant is down. We have got a price quote to get new pumps installed. The pumps did go down, and when it comes to that water plant, we all got to realize that we're dealing with an old plant that needs updates. So I mean, like, any plans that funds need to basically flow into that water plant. That's your moneymaker there. That's what you need to keep the city up right now. I mean, that's where the money's made. So I mean, that's kind of what all I have to say about that. I mean, we do have some issues, as in turbidity issues. I don't want to sit here and say it's always the rain, but we do need to find a way to control the ATVs and all of that traffic that's going back there, because it's basically rutting up our source. In other words, I don't know if what's going on the other side of the spring. That's one of those things that I would like to get around to doing, but right now, with it being just about summer, and I have ran into a black bear, so I don't hardly want to go back there by myself anymore.
I don't think you should.
But we do need to get around. Huh? Man. I thought I was tough until I ran into that. Like, I honestly used to go back there with no sense of worries, but now seeing that you got animals like that that's there, that shares the area that we are, I just won't go back there by myself. So, I mean, if you can get me another worker, I can have somebody to tail with me, and everything will be good. But, I mean, like, we're nah, he wasn't hungry. He ran right in front of the truck. So, but other than that, I mean, things are, I know I sound frustrating. Things aren't as bad as it seems. It's just things these last couple weeks have
Go
been.
ahead and tell them the truth.
It's just been a little overwhelming.
Tell them the 2 the additional things you got put on you because of me.
Well, I mean, it ain't.
And that was the TVs. We thought we'd have a few TVs to pick up.
Oh,
we
yeah.
thought we'd have a few tires to pick up.
Now, on the TVs and the tires, that was a great gesture. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, like, it's hard to get rid of TVs and tires. And we had the pickup tire day and the TVs, and I don't believe all those TVs and tires just came out of Bluff City. I think people were coming and bringing them in, because I stayed by myself until 8 o'clock picking up tires. I mean, and we still had a ton more left to pick up. So, I mean, it was a good gesture. I hope it went to a good cause, because we ended up picking up a good chunk of tires. So, I mean, some people's yards should be clean now, but other than that, that's pretty much what I have. I mean, I'm not much of a talker, and I mean, I'm making it. I'm not going. I don't want to put off that I'm tapping out or anything. I just kind of need your all help and support right now, because, like, right now, my morale is pretty much at an all-time low. Like, I came here to Bluff City feeling like Iron Man, and right now I feel like Tin Man. And I mean, that's just kind of where we're at. But we'll get past that. The issues, we're gonna try to fix those issues, but until we get those issues done, the only thing we can do, well, I can do, I'm gonna continue to fight for the city, and I'm gonna continue to try to do a good job. If that job that I'm doing isn't a good job, please replace me. I mean, I frankly didn't ask for this, but I'm here and I'm willing to take this on, and I just ask for y'all's support. That's it. I'm not asking for more money. I'm not asking for none of that. Because it's not about the money. I mean, this is my life right now, and this is what I do. But that's all. I ain't gonna keep carrying on. But that's what I had.
You've got our support.
Is that new pump that we approved? Has it been installed yet? After?
No, it hasn't. It was a 2 to 3 week lead time on that.
Yeah.
So we're into the second week. So hopefully that'll be in shortly. And hopefully once we get these other pumps pulled, we'll be able to repair one and then create one pump. So I mean, by the time we'll have a backup. So I mean, hopefully that all goes as planned. But definitely, I mean, if there's anything you can do to improve this town, improve that water plant, because that's where it's needed. That's all.
They wanted to spend $1.5 million on it 15 years ago. It was wore out 15 years ago. We had a special call meeting in here, and Dave said it's overworked, and plus we put on probably another 100 residents on it since then, or maybe more. Them whole subdivisions out there, Greenville subdivision, that road out through Greenville, all that's been added on since.
I mean, there's a lot of stress on it. I mean, me go in there right now and kind of learn what's going on. We need to make upgrades, because as long as the EPA keeps bringing up all of these new regs, like the way we're standing, we're not going to be able to keep up with it, because our plant is outdated and it needs tremendous help. Like the pumps that's gone down, they're just about 25 years old. And a pump is not going to last a whole lifetime, especially when it's operating just about 24 hours a day. And I mean, like the thing about with the other pumps going down, like unless you keep rotating these pumps and keeping them operating, if you let a pump sit there for a month, it's going to seize up. It's in water. It's going to rust. It's going to seize up. And once it seizes and locks, we're pretty much in the situation we're in now. So, I mean, and then that's one of the challenges of the turbidity that's coming down from the hill. Like, when the turbidity gets high, we have to shut the plant down. We can't send dirty water to these towns. So now the pumps are down for an extended amount of days. And that just kind of...
In the last 5 months, the pumps probably ain't, the water plant ain't probably been operating about 5 weeks out of the last 5 months.
It hasn't been 5, but it's nearing it. We've probably been down for, I would say, just about 3.5 weeks.
I was told we would be better off to go to Bristol Water and forget that out there. That's what I've been told.
I don't know what you've been told by, but I mean, that's something that we're going to have to go to. So that's where we're going to have to go. But I mean, at least fight it. I mean, that's the money maker in this town. Not this, well, I know Steve can bring in a lot of money, but the water is where it's at. I mean, that's the one thing that makes Bluff City different than any other town. We got our own water source. It's a spring. Just take care of it. That's all I can say. Just take care of it.
Your Congressman Monroe's representative is working with me, and going to be working with some of the homeowners and also with the Forestry Service to see if we can put a fence up. It would help us tremendously because those four-wheelers and they are just running up through there, and they all up in there all times of the night and stuff, just really messing up the ground and everything. So that's hurting us quite a bit. So hopefully we can get something worked out where we can get the fence put up, and they won't be able to get near where the water plant is. So, but I wanted to mention that the Tennessee, the pool for our insurance, the City of Bluff City will receive a total of $1,944, which is broken out by the following lines of coverage. The workman's compensation will receive $784 to be put towards the workman's compensation. Liability, $449, and the property, $712. And which last year we got the credit also last year. And then I know this is not maybe something that you want to talk about, but I got the information from Sullivan County Election Commission, and our election is on November the 2nd, and that falls on a Tuesday. So that's the first Tuesday. That's the first Thursday. It's going to be on Thursday in August. It's August the 2nd. And then on November the 6th for the general election, it's going to be on Tuesday. So that puts us not being able to have a meeting on November the first Tuesday. November. On November the 6th, and that's Tuesday, November the 6th, and that would be our election. Our meeting night. So we won't be able to have our meeting on November the 6th. And we really can't, we cannot stop them, the election people, from having their election here. So thought I would mention that to you. So, then, does anyone have any old business? New business? We're back down to citizen comments, the second session. 3, come to the podium and give your name, address, and phone number.
Carolyn Payne, 4818 Bluff City Highway, 5389108. Going to pick up, and I'm not harping on you, Alan, just on what happened and how it occurred. 6:43 p.m. We talked. The trucks arrived at 8:20. They did pump 6,000 gallons. It comes out of the manhole. That's called sewage overflow. Sorry. If it's storm drain water, then we don't have the money in here for storm drain water. It was not dumped at Lakeview Drive. It was taken to, let's see where I picked up here. It was taken to Beaver Creek. And again, there were no soil samples. There were no water samples taken down there. That is not in compliance either. Another truth is in July, we get the last approved 5% increase on water and sewer, as always passed along to the residents. Bluff City and its residents are in serious trouble, and it's time for all the truths to come out. This will not be the last increase. I can't wait to see the budget, which should be finished June 30th, 2018, that would read audited FY 2018, estimated FY 2019, proposed FY 2020, because by then we will have lost our speed cameras in 2019. Because of the regular meeting, March 6, 2018, when I asked the auditor, Rutherford Miles and Company, presented by Curtis Miles, what would happen to Bluff City when the speed cameras goes away, and he said we would be in a lot of hurt. You won't see that in the minute of the meeting, but it is on the video. People are watching these videos, and they need to attend these meetings down here and stand up and ask questions, I can back up my documentation with proof. Can we operate the water plant without a licensed water plant operator? If it can possibly take up to 3 months to hire one, and at what cost is it going? There is still no mention of cost. What about the War Memorial? My concerns is how we're going to pay for all of this. I too am fighting for Bluff City, believe it or not. Thank you.
Alan, you might want to explain that Bristol tells us for the dump. Yes.
We no longer can dump at the new location because they are already overloaded due to how much flow is coming from the industrial complex. So we do have to take, anytime we pull anything out of any of our pump stations, we have to take it down to Beaver Creek and dump at the Bristol waste plant.
Okay.
Was it my choice? And the reason why the timing on those pump trucks was poor was because they got called off of another job and they came with a full truck, so they had to go and dump first just so they can come back and pull for us.
Because you're at their discretion, basically.
So I mean, that's how that all kind of played out, and that's one of those things. Like I mean, like when it comes down to these overflows and stuff like that, it's time sensitive. So I mean, we need to purchase ourselves a pump truck or find somebody that's closer. Because I mean, like one issue that I did find is that in the middle of the night, it's hard to get in contact with somebody, and like if you can't get in contact with anybody, what's next? And like that was one of the issues I ran into that same very night. Like I worked all throughout the night. I worked till 2 o'clock. Came back in at 4. Came back, took a 2-hour break. Came back in at 4. We couldn't find an electrician. We needed an electrician to get everything back running. And we finally did get an electrician, and we got the booster plant, the booster pump at the water plant got struck by lightning. We had to get a couple fuse. Well, so there was a lot that went on that night that you all may not know about. But we had issues that night when that storm rolled through, and I mean, whenever I called some of the workers, and I hate to throw some of the workers under the bus, but some phones didn't pick up, and the grunt pretty much was left on me to get everything done, and I did my best to do what I could. And I mean, if you don't like the way that I sent the report to the state, or it's not in your good grace, I apologize for that. But there was a lot going on that night that a lot of people don't know about. I mean, I spent the whole entire night here, and then still came back in here at 8 o'clock and finished my shift. I think I left an hour early. So I basically worked a double that night, and no one stayed with me. It was me. Nobody fed me. Nobody fed me.
I was at my house.
I did have some Bojangles in the truck, but I didn't get a chance to eat it. But
Well,
that's kind of, I mean, those are the things that's going on. I mean, things just kind of got tough. The tough stuff kind of happened that week. We got past that. I just hope things get better. That's all.
I will have to say I helped you a little bit. Because I stayed on that phone trying to beg them to come in and stuff.
Trying to find the electrician or a pump truck 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it's hard. It's hard. That's all.
Okay, does anyone else have a comment? Okay.
That's right. I'm Becky Buchanan, 3750 Dry Branch Road. Alderwoman Madison, Jack Stratton, Ray Harrington, and Richard Bowen, and Mayor Wells. Thank you for thanking Alan for the hard work he does and for standing up for it. I want to say thank y'all very much, and anybody else in here. This man does work. And y'all need to thank him instead of putting him down. Because if it wasn't for him, a lot of times we would be in a mess. So when you see him and his crew out, say thank you, a good job. You know, take him a cookie. He won't refuse it. And if you say kill the bear, take him a bear steak. Hang in there, Alan. The people behind you.
Carol Keith, 305 Lakeview Circle, Bluff City. I feel like crying as I sit back there and listen to you, Alan. I know what it's like when it seems like everything's coming against you and you don't have anybody to stand up for you. And I am so sorry that you're going through all this. And I encourage you in the name of Jesus, you hang in there. It's not Alan's fault that we got these rusty pipes.
That's right.
It's not Alan's fault that we can't get somebody in to fix it, but you catch it. And I'd like to ask the board if there's any way that when somebody calls, because you know me, I'm straight. I stand for what's right, and I don't care who you are. When somebody calls Alan and giving him a lot of mouth, can he say, well, if you got a problem with me, call one of the aldermans and end it right there and let the alderman speak up and take care of it. He shouldn't have to go through all that himself because that's a lot of pressure on him. And I believe in standing for what's right. And I've heard people tell me that, hey, you are a good worker. You are good, and you're tired. I know you're tired. I'd be tired. You can't help it because sewage going in people's yard. It's not your fault. And let people know, hey, if you got a problem, be nice about it. Call the board. Call the mayor. Call the vice mayor. I can't help it. So I encourage you, you stand. And I know what it's like to live out of town and not know anybody. And you feel like you don't have any friends. But I want you to know, brother, you got a friend at 305 Lakeview Circle.
He's got a lot of friends in Bluff City.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks.
He does.
Okay.
Does anybody just clap our hands?
Does anyone else have anything they want to say? If not,
One thing.
oh, okay.
I'd like to make a motion